The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is in its first day, and people in Gaza have been trying to get their lives back to some kind of normality. Hamas declared a public holiday to mark what it's describing as a victory over Israel. But with mistrust on both sides, there is concern over how long the ceasefire will last. CCTV's Kate Parkinson has more from Gaza. And Kate, the bombing must have caused considerable damage there in Gaza. Has the reconstruction process begun? Is life slowly returning to normal?
Well, it's still early days. Of course, this is day one of the ceasefire. But yes, there has been a lot of damage here. The Israeli Defense Force said that they targeted 1,500 so-called terror sites. Now, Gaza's a very small place. It's just 25 miles long and 10 miles wide, and it's also densely populated. There's 1.6 million people living in that small stretch of land. So you really don't have to look very far or talk to too many people before you see evidence of that heavy bombardment that we saw over the 8 days Operation Pillar of Defense. But despite the heavy bombardment, which people saw their properties destroyed, or even worse, people losing their lives, there is a remarkable resilience here in Gaza. And as I saw earlier today, people did spring back to normal life rather quickly.
For 8 days, these streets were deserted. But with the ceasefire holding, for now at least, Gaza is bustling again. But the pain of the conflict still runs deep as people continue to bury their dead. Medics in Gaza say 162 people were killed, more than half were civilians. In Israel, 6 people were killed. But despite the big difference in the number of fatalities, people here are celebrating.
We are so happy for the ceasefire, and also because this is a victory for the Palestinian people and for Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and all the other resistance factions.
But while some are celebrating, others are still reeling in shock and wondering if life will ever be normal again.
This used to be a computer store. The owner says he invested all of his life savings to open it. But when his neighbour's house was hit by an Israeli airstrike, he says his dreams turned into dust.
As he looks through the rubble for anything he can salvage, Rami says he doesn't know how he can rebuild his life.
I've completely lost hope. There's no future. We lost our money, our home, our business, which was supporting 6 families. We have nothing to cry about because we literally have nothing left to lose.
The ceasefire has brought peace back to Gaza, but in this volatile region where resentment runs deep, there is a sense that the fragile peace could be shattered again at any point.
Well, as you see in my report, a sense of normality returning to Gaza. But actually, normal is a strange word to use when it comes to Gaza, because really life is far from normal for the people here. The people of Gaza have been living under an Israeli blockade since 2007, which effectively cuts off any trade opportunities with the outside world. People describe living here as being in a sort of prison camp. As I say, there are some people who are saying that life is getting back to normal, but there are others, as you saw in my report, for whom it will take a lot longer, if indeed normality ever returns. But as I said, a remarkable resilience here, and people do seem to be optimistic that for now at least the ceasefire will hold.
And Kate, have you been able to gauge in any way, and I know it's early days, what the people of Gaza think of this agreement with Israel? I mean, do they think that it's some kind of political victory, or are they just happy that the bombs are not dropping any longer?
Well, it's both really. Certainly people are very happy that the ceasefire is in place. They're back out on the streets. They're enjoying having their freedom of movement back. People have been hiding in their homes now for 8 days, avoiding this bombardment. And so there is, on the one hand, that relief that period is over, but also, as you saw from one man that I interviewed there, and this is a message that we've heard from many people that we've spoken to, there is a sense of victory. People really feel that Gaza has come out on top here, and certainly they feel that in this ceasefire that was obviously brokered by Egypt and the US, they feel that because this came into effect before Israel escalated the conflict with a ground invasion, they see it as a sign that Israel did not have the international support or indeed the cover to go further with this campaign as they may have desired to. And so people feel that it is a victory for them. There's also optimism that the ceasefire will lead to more freedom and an end to that blockade that I was speaking about earlier.
Okay, thanks, Kate. Kate Parkinson there in Gaza.